All right, guys, let's jump in. So I'm just gonna run you through how I made my track Tiger. It's on Raw Organic Volume 2, released under Okamizoku. This is my label that I'm going to create. Yeah, it's a banging track. It was mixed by Soundnog and then mastered by my friend Ari. They're wizards. They helped it out a lot. So this is pre-mixing and mastering, obviously. It's kind of a minimal, tribal, hypnotic, techno vibes. I really like this song, so let's get into it. So. So you can get the vibe there. It's pretty heavy duty, full on techno track, 135 BPM. I like that tempo. I love like 135 to 140. I like everything, but I like producing that tempo because I feel like it's still quick, but it's got room to groove. And so the syncopation and kind of, I like to make things sound very human as much as possible. I like to kind of imagine it's a big alien band and they've all got these random instruments and they're playing, but nothing. I don't want things to sound too quantized. There's a time and place for it, but I think with this style, it's awesome when it's just very raw and human sounding. So the low end, let's get into it. Let's just go over here and loop this. Boom. So let's look at this kick. So Audio React, I used heaps of his samples. He's the man. He's got the best YouTube videos and he's taught me so much about producing techno music. So shout out to Audio React. You're a legend. Not much processing on it, just a bit of saturation. Bam, 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 bam. Pretty heavy on the transient, pumping kick. And then I've got a rumble underneath. Oh, it's too loud, that. So it's the same kick, and then I wash it out with a reverb, like 100%. Smooths it out. It's totally in mono. Huge low pass on it, because I really just want that. And then I low pass it, and then I saturate it after. Compress it like a sausage, and then some sidechain on it. And then another thing I do is I really like that transient to stick out, so I need something on top of the kick to make it punch through, something with a lot of high-end information. Here I'm using a tambourine. It sounds awesome. And then that way it cuts through the mix really well and sounds cool. So then let's get into the tom. So right, or we'll take you over here after the drop when it changes. So Audio React sample, shortened it a bit. Some delay on it to give it some groove. Just crunch it up. Side chain, minimal processing. Slap. So that's the low end is just, oh yeah, and what do we got here? We got run through drum bus, add some saturation, kind of get it all together along with some glue compression. And then yeah, this is my filter that I have on that channel to sweep it out, and always turn your filters off when you're not using it. Yukai scolded me about that. So sounds sweet. Let's get into the percussion. So Lots of elements here. Kind of got like a random bongo hit. Okay, actually, before we get into it, my send and returns, all right? So I'm a big fan of using send and returns. I think it's a really good way to glue everything together nicely. So, boom, it's just a hybrid reverb. I always use this Ancient Sapiens Cave one. Just like the way it sounds, and why wouldn't you want your song to sound like it's in a caveman's cave? You know, that's pretty cool, especially with the style of techno where it's all tribal and raw and organic. So yeah, that's the reverb I go through. And then I like to put a sidechain as well on the reverb and the delays as well. For this one, actually I didn't put it on these. That's okay. For this one, yeah, it's just dotted 8. That's my short delay. And then this is a long delay. And they've got a lot of saturation on them too, when I wanted to hear, kind of boost things up a bit. I think on this one, I did it quite a bit. Yeah, just a bit of diffusion and shit like that. It sounds really cool. So, yeah, if I listen to that, right? Very crunchy delay. So I've got the reverb here and then the 2 delays. I don't like to add too many delays to a track. It just gets a little crazy. A little bit of that. A clap, which is pretty cool. I think for this one too, at the MIDI, I put this one way down and it just kind of gives this kind of, that was an accident. It sounds cool though. Donk. What does donk sound like? Oh yeah, let's get into it. Donk is this. Only happens once, right before the drop. Really crunchy shaker with some redux. Very snappy shaker there. This is that main bongo loop. Yeah, it sounds cool, that. And then a perk loop. What is this? It's been a while since I've gone through this session actually, so forgive me if... Oh yeah, that's super cool. That's an audio react sample. As you can see, everything has minimal processing on it. Sorry, I stopped that. Then we got this in context with the kick. It's on that syncopated, it's like on a 16th right before, so it just really adds a good groove to it. Let's look at the top percussion. And that's how I separate things. My low end, my mid perks, so like all my drums and shakers and stuff, and then all my hi-hats and rides, and then my synths all here, and then just all the effects that I use, all the atmospheres and Foley noises that I love. So 8th note hi-hat, very snappy. There's a clap on there as well as like 2 hi-hats. I've got this LFO moving the decay at a half note. So it's like, it's very subtle, but gives gives it a bit of movement. Saturate it. There's gonna be a vocoder. You need that. Sounds so good when you do that. Another hi-hat. Yeah, awesome. With some of the send and return on there. This is a groove. This one's a bit automated. Same thing, LFO. Moving the attack around, the decay. Gives it a bit of movement. Side chain for sure. Oh, this one's weird. Yeah, saturation, redux. Oh, the doubler on the phaser flanger sounds so good. And then LFOs just doing their thing. Yeah, just on the jitter of the redux. And then the decay. Yeah, so a lot with these LFOs, like it's just experimental. You just it's kind of slot machine producing where you put them on and you could never really guess what's gonna happen sometimes. You can as you get, like, you do the same thing twice, you're gonna know. But I'm really in that phase of experimentation. I'll always be, but yeah, I'd like to, you know, not have too many individual instruments, but do really cool, a little subtle automation, so it keeps the track interesting. This ride is kick-ass. And then when Gabe mixed it, he made it sound way better because he took out a lot of the harsh frequencies, which I will do myself next time. Yeah, so it's got a delay on it. Erosion, awesome, which is automated, right? Vocoder coming in as it ends, shifting the frequency down as it ends. Yeah, super cool groove. Marcel is an artist I love, and he's got the fucking best rides. Check him out. He's an absolute gangster with hypnotic tribal techno. All right, let's look at this lead pluck. So, wavetable. I love wavetable. I think it's just so easy to use. And there's all sorts of great sounds. I've been using it since I got onto Ableton, so I'm really used to it. So it's really simple. I think having a nice simple lead goes a long way. So the first oscillator, it's just like an FM one. So let's listen to it. Yeah, so what's going on? So this first oscillator, same setting on the second one, just 3 semitones up. The LFOs, one's at 8 bars and one's at 1 hertz. So they're just like never gonna perfectly line up, which is awesome because then it's just interesting the whole track. Even if it's very subtle, it's like kind of always different in some way. And I have those affecting the shape. So you can see it kind of moving around there. Yeah, so good. Delay, as well as the send and return delays, just because there was a certain groove I was looking for. I try not to do that too much, but sometimes you just got to do it. Saturation, bit of EQ, kind of taking out a bit from the low mids. And then roar, fucking roar, man, is such a good plugin. Low mix, like 30%, but then I've got the noise on it, which is huge. Listen to this one. Yeah, it's got nothing on it. Really crunchy, crackly sound. Oh my God, roar is unreal. And yeah, I think this really, I designed my send and returns around this lead, and that's how I got the idea of having a very saturated delay. I think it sounds really, really cool. almost like kind of like scrapey, grindy sounding. If we listen to it, let's listen with no send and return. Let's go and do this. Right? Super good. Pad. Oh yeah, so this one yeah, it's a sick pad. What did I do? Yeah, so I drew in the automation for this one with my MIDI controller just to kind of get that human feel, and it's just like a super low. Oh. Yeah. Sounds so good. Just huge, deep. Oh. Right. It's okay. Yeah, so huge pad. Love this. Yeah, it just sounds. So this one, I was cheeky and I used a synth loop from an Audio React. Once again, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I wanna make the synths. I wanna do it. Even if it's a preset, I wanna program the MIDI and I wanna design it, put it in sequencers, do those things. For these tracks, I was just like, oh, I just need a bit of a boost. And I kind of put these in, it just brought things to life. This is such a cool loop. So good. And then there's a huge amount of automation on it. Yeah, so kind of like when it's coming out, yeah, sounds so good. Saturation, flanger, yeah, side chain, and then I've got this echo on it, and then the shifter dropping down. So it sounds so good. This one's super simple. Nothing much there, just operator, just a little ear candy. This one's a bit hectic. This is like this kind of crackly ambience, a lot of messing around got to this point, but what's it doing? Yeah, so hectic. It's the same setting as the lead. And saturation delay on it, and then echo, and that's doing all sorts, that's being messed around by the LFOs here, which makes it just do all sorts of crazy shit. The dry wet, and then the actually the timing of the one of the sides, so that makes it kind of warp out of tune. So cool. Bit of compression, and then yeah, the send and returns on there too. Sounds fucking crazy. Then yeah, there's this sawtooth that only happens in the build. Yeah, I love that. It's drift. Drift is awesome. Watch the LFO. Classic techno LFO. Craziness. Decapitator. EQ, filter, compression, all the good stuff. And then there's this lead. This is a diva. One of the presets, resonant pad. Sounds so good. Nice kind of hypnotic, haunting. Yeah, love the sound of that. And then yeah, let's go through this. So this is like a build. I would have resampled something. I don't actually remember, but resampled it, stretched it, just put roar on it and reverb, like way more reverb. Just kind of going through the presets until I find something I like. Yeah, just crazy. Riser. Same kind of business. Okay, this one I really like. This is one of my favorite parts of the song. It's like a female vocal found from Splice. So let's listen. Yeah, so good. Shifters kind of bringing it in and out a bit. With this LFO, super slow, not like so subtle. Like you won't even notice it, to be honest. And then the crystallizer sound choice is the best. It's this minorific setting, which is so good. Yeah, it turns everything into a minor chord. It's just so creepy, and this is the stretched out one. Just some ambience. All right, the tiger. All right, I had this idea of having tiger sounds in my track, so that's what I did. I found a tiger sample or a sample pack full of tiger noises. I love the just like the guttural, sounds like a death metal scream. Yeah, so good. Just so heavy without everything on it. Yeah, so Echo Boy, dark echo can. I like the color. Crystallizer, ping pong balls, kind of like a slapback delay. And then Decapitator, angry Vox. Sounds fucking gnarly. Yeah, come on, let's go. Shit. Wrong one. It's like fucking evil, man. Let's go. All right, woodwinds. I love woodwinds. Marcel, once again, he uses woodwinds all the time. Everyone uses woodwinds, but if you listen to his song Steady, it's one of my favorite techno tracks, and the woodwinds in it are just like unreal. But sounds so cool. Auto pan on it, moving around, a little extra echo. I think I went a little bit overboard with the echoes and delays on this track. The tracks I make in the future, I'm gonna basically exclusively put everything through a send and return even if I have like 3 or 4 different ones, I'm gonna like tune them really nice and then get them how I want them, but I'm still learning, eh? So yeah, oh, so good. A couple of ones that are just a bit more dry and short and punchy. Oh yeah, those are sick, eh? Rain stick. Multiple rain sticks. That one's pretty nuts, so full send and return, redux, vocoder, echo, oh, just crazy. All right, this is a cool one. Just a China cymbal. I'm a drummer. It's like the first thing I ever fell in love with in my life. I love playing the drums, and if you're into metal music and punk music, you fucking know what a China cymbal is and how hard they slap. I think they sound so like. I think if you're picking crashes for your music, go into like sample packs from Splice and stuff that like you get like really really nice sounding crashes, like a nice cymbal, you know, some Sabian or Zildjian cymbal. That sounds really good, and like in the Splice pack too, these guys would know how to record a cymbal. So just yeah, that I think that's really important. That's what I do. Like I'm always looking. I just have a few packs where like they're actually proper drum kit packs, and a China is just so has such a like crunchy, distorted sound, and it sounds fucking cool. So I think a crash. Yeah, that one's cool. It's like kind of a cymbal catch. Yeah, in the song it's like this. I can't really hear it. Impact from some sample pack. Big old clap. Can't go wrong. All right. the growl ambience. Fucking man. I was probably smoking something when I made this track. So it's just like I resampled the tiger growl and then like came up with a really short loop of it. And I put like erosion and redux and then erosion again and then an amp and then phaser and flanger on the double. And then put all these LFOs, which are, there's 4, 6, and 8 bars. Really like 50 to 20% depth between all of them. But they're all in these different settings, like fucking, they're all moving everywhere. Can't even keep track anymore. And it never sounds the same, like the whole song, because it's moving around too much. Kind of like some sort of like cicada noise. It's just so crackly and textural. I love it. And then this is an Audio React sample. I also like to create my own atmospheres now. This one he had made and I kind of messed around with it a bit, but I prefer to make my own at this point. Space Blender just came out for Sound Toys, and that's so good for making ambience. It's really fun to make ambience. It's you know, it's quite the process. But anyways, yeah, that's it. This is my first little video of me explaining how I make my tracks, and I reckon I'm just gonna do it for like every song, because you know, it's quite the process making techno music, especially when you're sitting in your pajamas at home by yourself. But why not just kind of bring you guys in? I'm gonna try and make higher quality YouTube videos as well. But yeah, check out this track. Go download it and pump it at your techno set. I would really appreciate that. And you know, subscribe to my channel and like this video and do all that shit so that I don't have to get a day job and I can just make techno music.